My goal here is to prevent a criminal from profiting at the expense of the students at the University of Louisville and in a legal way.
A Louisville woman discusses in depth why she is suing the woman allegedly behind the U of L sex scandal. Meanwhile, Katina Powell tells her story on another national platform, this time ABC's The View.
It's about the book and the money. I would be lying if I said it wasn't, but I think people get the wrong perception.
Plus, both Rick Pitino and Andre McGee make new statements today that has heads spinning. Don't go anywhere. CNT Sports coming up next. Welcome to CN2 Sports. Let's jump right into the latest on the U of L basketball scandal. It's been a very busy day, and we start with U of L basketball coach Rick Pitino, who's decided not to talk at next week's ACC media event known as Operation Basketball. He says he does not want the allegations to take away from the other ACC teams at the October 28th event. Pitino, however, did discuss his team in a private interview sent to media outlets. Among the subjects discussed, the experience his team has gained starting season number 2 in the ACC.
I guess because I'm a junkie for basketball, I was quite familiar with everybody. You know, I watched so much basketball. I learned so much basketball from watching other coaches that, I had a good familiarity. Now, the players did not, and this team probably does not as well. We know North Carolina, Duke, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh has all their players back, certainly. Miami's going to be very strong with most of their players back. Georgia Tech will be improved. Wake will be improved, certainly. We're the X factor. I've got very optimistic goals with this basketball team, so I don't want to get too carried away. But I'm really excited about this basketball team. I think they're going to do some great things.
Meanwhile, Pitino's ex-director of basketball operations, Andre McGee, has resigned from his current coaching position at the University of Kansas City, Missouri. McGee is at the heart of the allegations and is alleged to have paid for strippers and escorts to dance and have sex with former U of L players and recruits. When news broke 3 weeks ago of the allegations, UMKC immediately placed McGee on administrative leave with pay. The official press release from UMKC includes a quote from McGee's resignation letter to the AD that said, "The university deserves a full-time assistant coach, and I am not able to provide that to the basketball team while the false allegations against me are being investigated." This announcement comes just days after Louisville coach Rick Pitino implored McGee to speak out, saying only he knew the truth. Katina Powell, the woman behind the book Breaking Cardinal Rules and the person who blew the whistle on the salacious acts, appeared on ABC's The View today. Powell has now done several interviews since Tuesday's sit-down with ESPN's Outside the Lines and Good Morning America. Today was her first live interview. Powell and two of her daughters addressing the book and the allegations. Powell and daughter Rodney used the platform to try and deflect blame and animosity from them and towards a culture of athletic recruitment.
I think people get the wrong perception. It's like bash me because of what I've done, but the big picture is, do you want your child to come to college and, as a young boy and then leave as a grown man with, 2 girls? It was what it was.
It's just the fact that people are overlooking the bigger picture. Yeah, like I said, everybody played their part in it, but for God's sake, people are sending their kids to universities, and you're not even caring about the fact that this stuff happens and no telling what else happens. If they've caught us, what else are they doing, But they're overlooking that just to tell us how bad of people we are when, you don't know what people do behind closed doors.
That's fair.
Katina Powell facing a separate lawsuit by this woman, Kyle Hornback, on the premise that Katina's activities are devaluing degrees from the University of Louisville. Hornback suing Powell in order to try to prevent any profit from book sales. But with the allegations now 3 weeks old and pieces of them being confirmed, we asked Hornback if the damage has already been done.
To some extent, the damage is already done, and that's why I'm pursuing this case, because I feel that my education has been devalued. The value of my degree has been tarnished because of this. My goal is to prevent it from getting any further and to prevent her from making a buck off of the expense of the U of L students.
So there's no way to untarnish the degree? The damage is done?
I think that what I'm doing will help fix the situation. Everybody's going to associate this scandal with U of L and with the students at U of L, but I think that what I'm doing is helping to fix it.
The allegations are the result of a recruiting scandal. Bellarmine Scott Davenport has been around recruiting a long time as both a college basketball head and assistant coach. He says if parents want to make sure their sons and daughters have a positive recruiting experience, then they just cannot stand by and do nothing.
When you talk about my sons, when they go off to college, I was very involved. If parents are very involved in this educational process from the time they're kindergarten until they make college decisions and beyond, I think it would only help that much more. The greatest checks and balances are parents. And then, we take tremendous pride at Bellarmine that they're entrusting us as educators to the future of their sons and daughters, as coaches, as professors, as administrators, and we take tremendous pride in that. We take that very personal. Recruiting is all about relationships. The more involved parents would be in the educational process, and all of forget athletics, about parent-teacher conferences, about overlooking homework, about school supplies, the better everything would be. We're trying to be the most thorough we can ever be. But when there's something like this happens that's personal, I've got 2 degrees from the University of Louisville. I had 39 hours over my master's. I gave them 11 of the best years of my life. I mean, it really affects you because you care about the individuals. Universities are buildings. Everybody has buildings. But what separates universities are individuals. It's people. It's what Bellarmine shines because of the people on this campus. Not just buildings. Same at the University of Louisville or the University of Kentucky. It's people that separate these unbelievable institutions.
Up next, we're talking football as U of L gets ready for what might be a must-win scenario. We'll show you why, and we'll break down the big battle against Boston College. That and so much more coming up next.